Welcome to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is your spiritual principle of a day episode, featuring a recovering addict.
Hi, my name is Mikey Cat. My clean date is December 13, 2010. You are listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is the Spiritual Principle a Day passage for July 22nd. Extending a thoughtful welcome. It may be helpful to remember what made us feel welcome and what made us feel uneasy or alienated when we first came to meetings. Guiding Principles, Tradition 1, for groups. We often reaffirm that the newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. Reading the words is fairly simple. Putting them into action can be a little trickier at times. One member wrote, "My compassion for others, especially newcomers, is a huge indicator of my progress in recovery." In our groups, that compassion shows in the actions we take to consider the newcomer's needs. By keeping our focus on the still suffering addict, we also keep our common welfare first. The questions implied by the quotation above are a great place to start. When we discuss what it means to be welcomed, we are often pleasantly reminded that our group is doing many of those things well already. Much of it is hardwired into our NA culture. One member shared memories of being a newcomer. Before the meeting, I was approached and welcomed by someone, and I was a little skeptical of the warmth. Soon, someone else welcomed me. They did the same with other addicts entering the room. I saw a pattern here, how they embraced people, and I felt that I was in the right place. I didn't feel undesirable the way I did most of my life. Plenty of us feel uneasy or alienated in the beginning. Helping new members resist the impulse to bolt out the door and go pick up takes some time and thoughtfulness on the part of NA groups and members. Although we can't eliminate every possible excuse a newcomer might use to leave, we can consider our actions and our group's atmosphere of recovery through the newcomer's eyes. Some thoughtful reflections help us identify what made us feel welcome and how we might do the same for others. Spiritual principle. The simplest gesture can have the most power. I will practice thoughtfulness to make sure the newcomer is always welcomed.
The Voices of Recovery podcast is an independent production of the Works of Wisdom. We welcome your questions and donations via PayPal at voicesofrecoverypod@gmail.com. This podcast is an independent production and is not affiliated with, associated with, authorized by, endorsed by, or in any way officially connected with Narcotics Anonymous or any of its subsidiaries or affiliates. While NA literature may be read during episodes for the purpose of supporting recovery, such use does not constitute an official endorsement or representation by Narcotics Anonymous. In accordance with NA tradition, the NA name is not to be used to endorse or be affiliated with any outside enterprise, and no such endorsement or affiliation is implied. Music is by Sage. Thanks for listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast.